Another late night. Big surprise. You on that side of the couch. Me on this one. Blanket in the middle. Just barely enough to share. We've done this 100 times. You sit there, I sit here. We laugh like nothing ever changes. And it doesn't, right? Same dumb movie, same cheap snacks. Shame you completely useless at picking anything decent to watch. What even is this? Were you trying to make me suffer? Because congratulations, it's working. I should have stayed in my room. Should have ignored you when you knocked. Again and again until I said yes. Why do I always say yes? Don't answer that. You look tired, by the way. Not that I care. It's just you get that weird crease between your eyebrows when you are, and you've been quiet, which is also weird. You're never this quiet. Whatever, it's fine. Not like I came out here to talk anyway. I just didn't want you falling asleep on the couch again. You always do that. Pretend you're gonna watch something, then knock out 15 minutes in. And then I'm the one who ends up dragging a blanket over you so you don't freeze to death like an idiot, like last time. Like that night. Hey, you remember last month? That night after party? You drank too fast. Tried to act like you weren't tired. Tried to make everyone laugh until you could barely keep your eyes open. You always do that. Make it loud enough so no one notices when you're quiet. We came back late. Everyone else was still out. But you and we just sort of drifted home. I don't even remember what time it was. Maybe 2 in the morning. I remember your voice was soft, softer than I'd ever heard it. We ended up here, just like this. Same stupid couch, same scratchy blanket, same old flickering lamp. You leaned back. I sat down next to you, and for once it didn't feel like roommates. It felt different. You looked at me, and I don't mean some quick glance. I mean you actually looked like I was something you hadn't really seen until that moment. And then you said it, clear as anything, like it wasn't even a big deal. You always feel like home. Just like that. No build-up, no hesitation, no punchline, just truth. And then you closed your eyes and fell asleep like you hadn't just pulled the floor out from under me. I thought maybe it was nothing, just a tired thought, just words slipping out. But it didn't feel like nothing. Not to me. Not the way you said it. Not the way you looked at me right before. I waited. You know, the next day, I kept expecting you to say something. Even a joke. Even just a, hey, I remember what I said. But you didn't. You just asked if I wanted cereal. Like nothing happened. Like you hadn't just cracked something open inside of me. And 2, try to let it go. Try to be normal. Try to laugh at your dumb jokes and toss popcorn at your head like always. But every time we sat on this couch, every time you fell asleep next to me, every time you leaned a little too close, I wondered, was that moment real or just mine? You don't remember, do you? Not even a little? Not even a feeling? Not even the way you said it, like it was the most obvious thing in the world? You forgot. And maybe that makes sense. It was late. You were tired. Things blur when you don't mean them, right? But I meant it. I still do. Even if all I did was listen. Even if I never said a word back. Because you said it first, and it changed everything. I knew it. I knew you didn't remember. Of course you didn't. Why would you? It was just another night to you. Another late movie. Another nap on the couch. Another round of me cleaning up your mess. Nothing new, right? Nothing important. Except it was. It was everything. At least, to me. And now I get to sit here, pretending like I don't care, like I didn't hold my breath for days, waiting for you to bring it up again, like I didn't memorize every word. You always feel like home, that's what you said, with your eyes barely open and your voice all sleepy and soft. And stupid me, I thought you meant it. I must be even dumber than I thought, letting 5 little words turn my whole world inside out. You know what? Forget it. It's fine, totally fine. I mean, it's not like I built my entire last month around that moment or anything. And it's not like I've been waiting for you to look at me like that again, or like I've been walking on eggshells, scared I'll bring it up and you'll just laugh and say I imagined it. Because that would be worse. That would make me the fool, and you the one who gets to forget and move on like nothing happened. Do you even realize what it's like, watching you act so casual, so clueless, while I'm here barely holding it together, pretending it didn't change how I see you, how I see us? Ah, you're so impossibly dense. And no, I'm not crying. I'm just blinking very intensely, and if you say anything about it, I will smother you with this pillow. Don't test me. I didn't ask you to say those things. I didn't beg for some confession. I was fine. We were fine. And then you went in and ruined it without even realizing. You ruined it. And then you forgot, like it was nothing. Like I was nothing. So congratulations. You win. You gotta break something and never even notice. Must be nice. I don't know what hurts more, that you said it, or that you never said it again. But I still remember. I remember how your voice dipped just enough to sound like the truth. I remember the way you looked at me, like you didn't want to sleep yet because something real was happening. I remember. I always will, even if you never do. You know what the worst part is? It's not that you forgot. It's that I didn't say anything. Not when I could have. Not when I should have. I just kept it to myself. Chach. Classic. Right? Me. The loud one. The one who never shuts up. And suddenly, I'm silent when it actually matters. I thought maybe if I said something, you'd pull away, you'd laugh, you'd get that look you always get when things get too real, like feelings are some kind of virus you don't want to catch. So I didn't say anything. I kept pretending, because it was easier to be your roommate, your sidekick, your annoying best friend, than to find out I was nothing more than background noise to you. Yeah, laugh it up. I know I'm dramatic, but you try sitting next to someone every night, knowing they said the one thing you've been waiting your whole life to hear, and then forgot it. You have no idea what that does to a person. And I get it. You were tired. Whatever. People say dumb things when they're tired. It's fine. No big deal. I'm not bitter or anything. I'm totally bitter. But only because you say all this sweet, ridiculous stuff when you're not even trying, and then expect me to just sit there like it didn't flip my entire internal world upside down. You called me home. You know what that means to someone like me. Someone who's never really belonged anywhere. Someone who hides behind sarcasm and fake confidence, because letting anyone in is terrifying. I should have said something. I should have shaken you awake and said, say it again. Say it while you're looking at me. Say it like you mean it. But I didn't. I let it slip through. And now I'm stuck in this weird limbo where everything feels like it matters too much, but nothing's allowed to be real. And still, I stayed right here, watched dumb movies, ate too much popcorn, laughed too loud so I wouldn't cry, because I thought maybe, just maybe, you'd remember. And if you didn't, I'd just keep being fine, like I always do, like I always say, even when I'm not. Because losing you would hurt more than any silence. You didn't remember. You didn't bring it up. You didn't even look at me different the next day. And still, I stayed. I sat on this couch again. I shared this stupid blanket again. I listened to your stories, your sighs, your silences. I laughed at your jokes, even when they weren't funny, and acted like I wasn't counting every second between that night and the next time you might say something real. But you didn't, and I didn't ask because I was scared that if I did, everything would break. I didn't want to lose this, whatever this is, this weird, quiet, warm little thing between us that no one else gets. So I stayed, even when it hurt, even when I wondered if I imagined it, even when I hated myself for remembering something you tossed away in your sleep. Because for me, it wasn't nothing, it was everything. You called me home, and maybe you didn't mean it. Maybe you were half asleep, and your words came from a dream that vanished when you woke up. But I heard them, and they stayed. And I stayed. Not because I'm waiting. Not anymore. I think I just wanted you to know that even if it was just a moment for you, for me, it was a point. I don't expect you to fix it or say it again, or even remember I'm not asking for anything, except maybe this, just once, just tonight. Look at me the way you did back then, even if you don't know why, because I'm still here, still stupidly hoping that someday you'll say something like that again and mean it, on purpose, with your eyes open. And if you never do, I'll still be here. Not because I'm waiting, but because some things are too important to walk away from. Even if you forgot, I didn't, and I never will.